Guys, 15 days until this project. So, oh, I don't know why I did that. So let's do a little girl talk. Let's do a little girl talk. I want to talk about last night at work. I got myself in a little tizzy, babes, over nothing, per usual, over literally nothing. And I'm like thinking about it last night, and this morning I'm doing my 3 pages and I'm writing about it, and I'm like, it's funny to me that I'm always concerning myself with what other people are or are not doing, especially at work. And the energy that I'm putting towards other people is so dumb and such a waste of my own time. And not only that, but why am I so concerned with what's happening in this restaurant when my name is not on this restaurant? My name is not on the lease. My name is not on the W-2s that go out. It doesn't make any sense. Why am I so concerned with the functioning of this restaurant if I am there to serve guests, have them have a great time, make my money, and go home? You want to know why? Because I'm a recovering Al-Anon member. Because I'm a recovering people pleaser. Because I am a recovering codependent girly. And that is something that I just really had to stop and recognize. I'm like, babe, you are 15 days away from your first ever project being filmed. You are 15 days away from your first ever project opportunity to produce, to creatively direct, to collaborate with all these people who are believing in you and who have believed in you and who believe in this project, and you are getting your panties in a wad about a restaurant that your name is not on. So anyways, just a reminder that if you do that at work, reassess yourself. If you do it at home, reassess yourself. So let's start with our Courage to Change quotes. I have 2. I have one from yesterday and one for today. The one for today, I lied, yesterday, is if one advances confidently in the direction of his or her dreams and endeavors to live in life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. If one advances confidently in the direction of his, hers, their dreams and endeavors to live in the life which he, she, they have imagined, they will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. This is for today, this one. Faith takes practice. I will include my higher power in more of my actions and decisions today. Let's say it again. Faith takes practice. I will include my higher power in more of my actions and decisions today. Lordy B, let's talk about it. Again, if I'm confidently moving in the direction of my dreams and my endeavors and the life that I have imagined, I will meet success in unexpected hours. So if I'm truly living my unapologetic self and I'm just being who I am and I'm not questioning myself in terms of who I am. Because I think that getting into all of the, self-help books and really, what are you eating? Anyways, really reassessing my behavior over the past couple of years. It's done good and it's done maybe not so good. It's helped me to allow where I've gone wrong with my family, with my friends, with past lovers, but it has also taken me to the extreme because as a person who grew up in extreme environments, I tend to do things in an extreme manner. I've also now gotten to the point where I completely question myself. I don't know how to trust myself. And that's a problem. And that's what I've recognized in the past year, specifically, is that I used to wholeheartedly trust myself creatively, with people that I was dating, with, decisions that I was making. Like, it didn't matter what anyone said to me. What I was going to do is what I was going to do. And again, there's pros and cons to that. But I've taken it to the extreme, and now I question myself. And even with this project specifically, there were so many decisions that I made that I started questioning myself. And specifically with the clothes, I kept feeling like, okay, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't represent this archetype or this character. This is not what I envision. And I had this conversation with one of my close friends, and it was a conversation that needed to be had because they essentially questioned me and was like, how is your audience going to understand what you're trying to portray if you're not telling them through XYZ, right? And my response was that you're either going to get it or you're not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not creating this project for everyone to understand it. There are going to be a lot of people who are like, what the fuck? And that's fine. But then there are going to be a lot of people who will be like, oh my God, I love this. But it's not for that. It's for the purpose of girl talk. It's the purpose of, community and bringing people together and having fun, creative conversations. And I needed that conversation to happen because I started to question myself and I started to think, okay, maybe she's right. Maybe I need to be more literal about it. And then I was like, Marlena, no, you actually don't. You just need to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. So I went home, I reassessed everything. I'm like, I have this idea for this specific character and I want them to wear this color. I want them to wear this color to represent so many different things, right? And from the beginning, I had this envisioned in my head. I want them to wear this specific color. And a lot of times I think creatively, when we have that vision and we get really like stuck on it, I don't actually think that's a bad thing. I think that that's more of our intuition really pushing us and being like, no, you saw it for a reason. So whether it pans out the way you want it to or not, do it. Because if you don't do it, you'll never know. I'd rather take the risk of people not maybe fully understanding it first and me being really, really stuck on the creative vision that I saw and knowing that I took the risk rather than not taking the risk, playing it safe, playing it literal, and going about it the way that I intuitively don't want to go about it. So, yeah, I think that now doing the Artist Way again, I've restarted it, and now doing it, we're talking about creative blocks, and I think that my biggest creative block is putting my energy towards people and situations that I don't need to. Like I said at work, I'm getting my panties in a wad for what? For what? For what? For a $56 steak. Honey, what? What? My name is not on this restaurant, honey. Why do I care? I don't know. I care about my guests and my guest experience. And this entire week, it's so weird. And I feel like my angels, I like to refer to my higher power as my angels. I don't know. I think that after I've had a couple close people in my family pass away, I just feel like they're my angels. They are here for me. They're speaking to me and they're trying to show me things that maybe I can't see in the moment. So this whole week, I've had so many guests that have come to the restaurant for the first time and that have just been so fabulous, and I've had such amazing interactions with them, and they've just given me fantastic feedback, not about necessarily the food. I mean, they're happy about the food, but more about their experience with me and our interactions. And that's what I care about. I care about how people interact with me in terms of how they feel. I want people to feel comfortable with me. It doesn't matter if it's at the restaurant or not. In general, I want people to feel comfortable with me. That's not always going to happen. Sometimes you're going to meet people that don't vibe with you. That's cool. I'm fine with that. But I just keep feeling like these interactions kept happening over and over and over and over. And it wasn't like an ego thing of like, oh, I'm doing my job well, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm filling up your drink fast enough. It was just more like, no, I'm making genuine connections, and I'm also being real with them about what they should afford, what makes sense for them. This is good. This is all right. This is mid. And just truly meeting them where they're at. And I think that that's what I need to do with my art and my creativity. I need to meet myself where I'm at. Like, duh, the fuck? Am I making sense? I need to trust myself. I need to know that the decisions that I'm making are for a reason. What is art? What is creativity without risk? What is anything without risk? Like, honest to God, I don't understand. And that's the thing too, is I was talking to my manager, and I'm like, not my manager at my work, but my manager for acting and stuff. And she was telling me about, jobs and, how they come and go. And I said, girl, I'm not concerned. This isn't my 9 to 5, right? Like, I'm not paying my bills with this money. I'm paying my bills with my job. And even that too, I kind of had to stop and question myself and think, okay, so there's no risk, right, going into these acting jobs right now. And it was almost like a moment where I kind of had to stop and think and be like, why am I not risking it though? Like, why am I not really just diving in fully? Why am I, putting my toe up against the water and kind of feeling it out? Like, no, like, I want to be thoughtful and intentional about the jobs that I take, because previous 10 years ago when I was doing acting and stuff, I wasn't, I would just take anything, which is kind of what you have to do when you first start out. But it's 10 years later, I'm 10 years older, 10 years wiser, and 10 years more experienced in life in general. And I want to be more intentional about what I do and the jobs that I take. But I also don't want to hold back. I want to completely give it my all, because why wouldn't I? So we're 15 days away. I'm so excited. We have our fitting this week coming up. I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to see this. I can't wait for the day that we shoot it. So yeah, trust yourself, dive right in, and stop concerning yourself with people and energy that you don't need to concern yourself with. If your name isn't on the business, why do you care? Why do you care, girl? Why do you care, boo-boo? Anyways, the sun's out. We're starting to head into spring. So spring into those little creative journeys that y'all want to do. Okay, love you, bye.